We are back after our break. Let us continue.
Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. I presume you heard the defense counsel's summation examination?
Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov, I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Cool, blimey! This is gonna be hard work. When we were in this trial, we gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windbanks. Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to call me Dukes at me Lucy Locus. However, that was a lie. You brothers. Cool, blimey! On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. You never done nothing of the sort. How'd you figure that out? Uh-oh.
You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question. This time, you will tell the truth.
Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps.
No more, Gov, we hear you.
We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach! Witness testimony. Illegal entry, the whole truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we had the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. I mean, it didn't have to give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter'd come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it, and a scout went straight into him in the back, in the black. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? We'll see about that, won't we?
So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Winterbank's countertop on the night in question.
Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tied it up, yeah. Oh, Van Sykes does not have that. Oh, sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Can't you make us sound a bit more cutthroat? It can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Winterbanks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye, I'm sure of it. Legal entry, the whole truth. Alright, let's just go through these statements here. Hold it! If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Now, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? Wait, Nash, we ain't. We admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good. What's that, Ringo? The old China? We'd only ever land ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble. That's rotten luck, says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack this counter? We never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied the place up. Sorry. He ain't having that. was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Alright,
Hold it!
Press it. So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things off the counter? Oh, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. Bag of nerves he's learned to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright, blimey. Your dead granny would have woken up with that bang. Big brother, yeah, screamed like a blooming baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick and some skull whatnot. I got tangled in some marionette, knocked over a picture frame, what knocked them scales on the floor. You really mastered working quietly then. Well, I reckon your granny would have been scared back into her grave at a like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, bam. Uh-oh. Why do you have something to say about this?
Excuse me!
Gregson is, Inspector Gregson, did you have something to add?
Look, I keep saying I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels.
No. Something to add about their testimony? You seemed to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something?
It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it. Only, well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details.
How about you just tell us what's on your mind?
As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. The statement they gave them told a slightly different story to what they're saying now.
Did it?
You claim you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot.
Might have, Guff, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it.
Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. Can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them.
Easy, easy. We'll get it right this time. That's it, yeah. It's all coming back to me now.
Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs.
Right you are. Gov. Alright. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun." I betcha, it was Gina who said that. I betcha it was.
Hold it!
So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously? We did, Gov, we did! Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard kind of wavering voice before the yelling all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. Bam. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. Kind of thing. A career in acting tragically missed. Okay. Where were the voices coming from? Could you tell? Of course we could. On the other side of that door behind the counter it was. From the storeroom. The victim was found dead. Hence the voice you heard. Was that the victim, Mr. Winterbank? On my granny's life. Of course it was. On his granny's life. Of course it was. So that would mean... You both knew Mr. Winterbank at the sound of his voice. So that would mean what? What, Nash? What? Any ideas?
Yes, counsel, indeed it would.
Nah. We didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke in all the fancy club was giving us the evil eye?
If you value your lives, I'm sure your testimony is accurate and true.
Oh, on my granny's life it is? On his granny's life it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. To summarize, the Immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. Make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget we tied it up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it. He was holding the gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling. Wait. The bloke would own the place was holding the gun, so he was. This is new. Hold it! You're saying that Mr. Windibank had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah, I bet that was a side eye. Them two waving them guns at each other must have got pretty heated. I mean, just before he shouted out, we heard the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot. Didn't really sound like he meant it, right? More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Windibank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. And someone being himself, of course. Good grief! Extraordinary devotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was going to shoot right into it cooked his ghost proper. But he wished he squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, give me that gun. It was directly after these words that you heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time, Gov. Give me that gun. Bam. Kind of thing. Yes, a career in acting, very attraction-based. And we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck before everything went dead quiet. After that, we done a slapdash jump tidying the place up. Hold it! So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not on your life. It went deathly quiet after that, it did. Put the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, wasn't it? The way that was opening? Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, so we've been led to believe. It was, Gov, it was, from the inside. Right, so we'd have no way to know what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom, like through the keyhole or a spy hole, perhaps. Don't ring no bells, don't light no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in this guy and see, but one day we'll really cut the mustard. Please cut it out. But as we know, behind the door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Gina was in there unconscious with the gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right, Gov, that's right. Couldn't have even if we wanted to. Stick everything from the scarpers straight into him in the black. Hold it! Me? Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. We was a bit hasty there. It wasn't actually was, truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Good advice, miss, good advice. Truth be told, my mind went totally blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Mental note made, miss. After that, we logged it down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy to the coppers of Summit, so they clapped the derbies on us like the wicked. And after you've been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Well, yeah. But listen, that proves it, don't it, eh? We never had a chance, did we? Hold it! Why should we believe that? Hey, what? Well, because it's true, isn't it? The place was totally empty when we went in. At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Windibank. Correct. You got it, mister. Down to a T. So So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windibank. Is that really true? No, because, that's the full extent of their testimony. What is it, Bruno? You look very fierce. I can pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. It is nothing more than a feeling. More than a feeling. I have no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry? Those expressions, the movements of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take all that in and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. No, she's just an anime inventor girl. Let's see. The picture, I think, contradicts this, yes? Objection! You're saying that of the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun, is that correct? That's it, Gov. Got the picture? Yes, there she is, no question. And yet the photographic evidence from the time of the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not in possession of a firearm of any description.
Objection!
Oh. You surprise me. Does the defense really intend to highlight evidence that compromises the position of the accused even more?
Furthermore, the defense has failed to establish that the photographic print presented was taken a suitably short time prior to the victim's death. Your chronology is severely lacking, counsel.
Yeah, that's right. Too right, Nash, too right. The old geezer could have been able to turn the tables on the girl, mate. Hardly likely.
No, I'm afraid this won't stand as conclusive evidence. Continue with the cross-examination, counsel. Need my earlier warning witnesses.
Oh, so this Skulkin is never Skulkin. Huh. So that didn't. Interesting. That's weird. I didn't get a penalty for that, but it wasn't the right thing to say. That's interesting. Alright, I gotta think about this some more. Oh, weird. That is very odd. So, great question here. I'm trying to think. Evidence. What might actually be important here? To look at something to make it more... Alright. No, because this is just magnifying. That's 1 AM, right? Wait. Okay, so that's the picture... Shows the single bullet wound in his back, right? Go back. Give me that gun. He was holding a gun, but... So that's the only thing we can think of, is... That's the only thing I can think of. Objection! So you're saying... that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct?
That's it, Golf. You got the picture?
He has, Nash. He has, no question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not holding a firearm in the description.
You what?
Gordon Bennett, that ain't
right. Objection!
That's right. There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Windibank's gun was found at the scene. Yep. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Yes, but they're saying there's a second. Yeah, that Multula used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun. But he was shot. They're saying he was shot from the front. Stay exactly where you are, right there. Right? If the crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments of your second.
Goodness, are you sure, counsel?
You intrigue me, my learned friend. Let's see some evidence to support your claim. Here's the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments. The autopsy report? I'm assuming? Where is it? There it is. Single bullet wound in the upper half of victim's back. Yes. He was shot in the back, and they're saying he was shot from the front.
Take that!
According to their testimony, witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot.
Indeed, the two events happening almost simultaneously, so we've been led to believe.
Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, the autopsy report clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. Skulkin. But it's the God's honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. When we were shot that night, the shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windibank holding a gun? Something like might have slipped out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nish, Oh, we got him now.
Order! 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 Witnesses, explain yourselves at once.
Well, the thing is, you weren't supposed to, It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you.
Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies?
Ever so sorry, you see, we, got it out, Nash, got it out. Now you know what he'll do to us. What are they talking about? It's gotta be Egg Benedict guy. It's gotta be. Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. Ruff, come on, the gun's up. Well, then our gods forgot us. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out.
On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face-to-face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place.
Well, Do we have to?
On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth.
Okay. Encounter with the victim. Alright, so we just got inside the gas and aimed a sigh of relief when the gazer showed a smoke.
Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it.
Oh no, Gazer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter.
I pulled my gun on him, and then he legged it through that door into the back room. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear.
Huh. So you're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the store, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop.
Well, yeah,
Sorry.
well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably.
But honest, Governor, this time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide.
Very well. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Encounter with the victim.
Hold it!
When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Winterberg? Oh well, sorry, I mean, that's right.
We was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. We never thought no one was going to come out of the back room like that.
The back room being the pawnbroker storeroom. Yeah, that must be where he popped out from. The only place he could have been.
So that would seem as the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises.
Which means Ginny must have been there at that point as well. That doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Winterbank in the storeroom with her gun, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know. Did you see the accused at that time? That mole taller? Couldn't tell you.
No way, Cobber. We had bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it.
Hold it!
You mentioned that Mr. Winterbank shouted those words in your previous testimony too. However, you claimed that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door.
Did we?
But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
Was the victim Mr. Winterbank holding a gun at the time? Was he ever? Blimey, lummy, a great ugly barrel he had, pointing straight at me from space. So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Winterbank with the gun at that time, is that right? It is, Gov, it is, spot on.
Suddenly came at us, he did.
It was bedlam. I didn't know who was going for who. You were clearly all going for each other. What, Nash said we thought we'd had it. I mean...
Hold it!
Yes, I noted that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too. Well, yeah, of course we did. He knocked over a load of books and candlestick and some skull whatnot. I got tangled in some marionette what knocked over a picture frame what knocked them scales on the floor. So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter.
Well, Big Broke here went flying over that counter like a gunshot, I can tell you. And the old geezer pinned him.
He did, Nash, he did. You ain't been there. The bloke would have flattened me like a blooming pancake in seconds. At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the pawnbroker. So there's a button on the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right. The brothers fled the scene and back out of the street. They ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they? Poor Mr. Winterbank. He did everything he could to protect his shop. Through that door...
Hold it!
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Winterbank? Oh, No, never. I was just, looking out for me, bruv. I was being flattened. Don't forget. By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then, the man fled into the storeroom and you pointed your gun at him. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away, then ran off through that door and shot himself in. There's something about that last one. Something that doesn't quite ring true. I wonder why Mr. Winterbank ran away into the storeroom. What? Well, according to what everyone's saying, Ginny was in there waiting for the gun. Ah, yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Winterbank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the store door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Winterbank's hands again? I have no idea. But that is strange, isn't it? This little inconsistency could be significant. We should make a mental note of it. The boy is me and me brother. That's right, Nash, that's right. Me and me brother. They never had nothing to do with killing him, okay?
Hold it!
You say had nothing to do with it? Nothing at all. Nothing of nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was from the inside. We know it was because we tried to open it. But it's a decent door, that one. Good and strong. Wouldn't budge an inch. So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom, upon Broker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade. Aha! It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, counsel? I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could possibly have shot Mr. Winterbank? There has to be, like, literally, right? Yeah, like, literally, no. There could possibly have been. Eliminate the impossible, and whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. I've read enough Sherlock Holmes to know that. Mr. and Mr. Sculpin. What? What's that look for? From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely. It did? What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Winterbank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be? Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect of two conundrums. Two, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe? Indeed, namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood, my lord. I'm not entirely sure. There's one thing I'm sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. I believe someone else could have killed the victim. Indicate from where that person could have fired his gun. The door, right? Because let's say the victim, let's say Winterbank was in here, okay? And let's say the killer comes around here. I'm going all Ben Shapiro here. But let's say, hypothetically, that you have a gun and you want to shoot somebody with it. Anyway, so you're going to come around here and he fired through the door and hit Winterbank. Maybe the door was open. Maybe there was a way to shoot through it. That's my theory. Huh. I wonder why you're not getting my notifications. That's weird. I will check about that. Alright. I think it's right outside the door.
Take that!
The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. And in answer to the second question, assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time? He had to have been in the storeroom.
Take that!
The defense believes that the victim would have been in this
Objection!
What your answers in fact show is that your own position is as absurd as those you have indicated on. What are you saying?
What Lord Manzax is saying, Counsel, is that your answers are clearly flawed.
Oh no! I was wrong? Anyway, it's twice as many chances to be wrong. So the questions are, from where did the culprit shoot the victim, and where was the victim at the time? Well, I don't see why we can't show that someone other than Ginny could have done it in the storeroom. Do you? Yes, that's right. That's the right way of looking at it, I suppose. Someone other than Gina in the storeroom. What's the best move here? Should I try again, or gather more information first? Let's give it a try. I want to give it another try. Defense would like to point out the locations again. Well, you appear to be a glutton for punishment. So now, time for some clarity. Show to court on display the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. Alright, let's do it again. Alright, I'm gonna... The person could have fired the gun. Maybe I was too close to the storeroom?
Take that!
There. Let's try that. Alright, let's see.
Take that!
Ooh. Ooh, this changed things. The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. Mr. Windermere died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired?
So you're adamant the shot was fired from outside the storeroom?
Well, according to the Skelkin brothers' earlier testimony, they said he pulled his gun and then legged it. Yeah. If Mr. Winterbank ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time. Ah! It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the store. Ah! Ah! Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Findings of Scotland Yard's coroner, his report states that the bullet hit the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Ah! How the plot thickens. Poor man shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Of course, he would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten. The storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim the victim was shot as he fled into the room. You also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock. But if someone else locked the door... Yes, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Gina. Right? Is that so?
Very well then, Counsel. Present your hypothesis in court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shot and locked the storeroom door from the inside?
Gina, right? Because she was in there.
Take that!
Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the store at the time, the defendant, Christina Lestrade.
Objection!
Yeah, that's absurd. Suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room. For what possible reason? There were criminals outside. Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around the neck. I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel? No, the guy just got shot. She was protecting herself. It makes sense to me. Yes, that's a tricky one, that, isn't it?
Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please.
But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does? Yes, it does. I'm with Iris on this one. Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Oh yes, obviously. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Windibank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at that time, but at some point, Mr. Windibank must have heard the intruders breaking into the shop and left the storeroom. Intruders? I saw Spruff.
If your theory is correct, it leaves the accused alone in this storeroom.
Yes, it would. And probably only moments later, the victim fled back to the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Windibank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? Let's see where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Windibank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
But we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't gonna believe us. I mean, come on, we'd never shoot.
Objection!
That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would, because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There is only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, the brothers, had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windibank's murder. Where does this leave us? Say it was the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all. I should have known it was those three brothers. They look as shady as a dense forest. That was amazing, Bruno. All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now. I know, first time ever, and probably the last. Surely they'll give a verdict of not...
I want to donate Kobe and a forgotten land. Yes, I started to
An admirable effort, my learned friend. What's this now? He's laughing?
You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Sykes?
I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive. I dare say, such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. What? The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly, credibly, cannot, and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw. A fatal flaw? Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing? I say, Lord Van Sykes, might be an idea to explain this bally conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground, huh? The fatal flaw of my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Oh no. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. But George, count bullets? Oh dear. Yep. He noticed then. I know what he's talking about. What's everyone talking about? Council. Yes, sir? Tell us the court, how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime? Two bullets. Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, on his arrival at the scene. Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Holmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. Your Lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are two firearms involved in the incident. The revolver, belonging to the victim, Mr. Winter, and the Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friends. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these two brothers shot Mr. Sherlock Holmes right before your eyes. Yes, I did. Oh my goodness, I think you'll find that if the single bullet was fired from the brother's gun and hit Mr. Holmes, it means Winterberg not shot by same gun. Stop. Only one bullet. Stop. Exactly. Yes, this Nippon street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick, with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. That's a pretty good point, though. Rough. Order! 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 Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hollowed nectar into the public gallery. Lord Van Zykes! But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can, regrettably, no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. Uh-oh. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbroker in the night in question with loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. Oh boy. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present. That disc. It's the one that Gregson took, yeah. Yeah. And the blood, yeah, because Gregson. Yeah, anything that was McGilded was taken into evidence. Yes, that music box disc. McGilded's music box disc. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Winbank, the accused attempted to make off with his article, which clearly doesn't belong to him. With none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, by brute force and brazen impudence. But gracious! Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed. No crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril. I see. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence, counsel. There's a grim testament to the... Uh-oh. Lord Van Zykes, I am... Inspector Gregson, what? Yes, Inspector? We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service and, I think it was agreed that that disc wouldn't be used as evidence. What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zykes at all. I am unaware of any such meeting. But those were the instructions, right from the top. The government bigwigs were insisting.
Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. Ah, that's a little strange. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord. Indeed. Bailiff. The music box has been entered into the court record. Huh, that's suspicious. The prosecution has established the accused motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. Oh, I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once for all of 5 minutes. Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, Renaud. My lord, what if I might say something at this point? Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told, but all of a sudden, the answer's barely obvious to me, and my man, there's only one thing for it. Oh no. Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
Oh.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Time for another, initial findings. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems. We have eliminated the impossible. Whatever remains must be the truth. Hey, I said that earlier. That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. How dare he use it against us? Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winterberg. That's beyond any doubt. Yep. Naruhodo's clients don't do any murdering except for when they do. Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready? Get a Deb squadron is primed and ready for action, sir. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Here we go. Judicial findings. The juror's contentions. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breed to us law-abiding citizens. There's only 2 bullets were found at the scene. I would say the whole case is done and dusted. You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket. I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. Okay. Talk to me a bit more. Yes. Yes, a one-trick pony, but that one trick keeps working. It would seem there is little remaining room for doubt. Have to admit I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But when that fell apart like a house of cards, I say that I'd jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more. The whole courtroom is turning against me. It's not fair. Iris, the prosecutor's being mean. Just because Jenny's done something she shouldn't have done in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's to the truth coming out, eventually. That's enough preamble, counsel. Proceed with summation examination. Here we go. Yes, my lord. All right.
let's save before we get too deep into these other things.
Hold it!
Just because Miss Lestrade is a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder? Is that what you're saying? Ah, well, we're all members of the British Army, so quick to judge. I beg your pardon. Are you Buckingham Majesty's Royal Forces, greatest military organization in the world? No, I'm simply illustrating my point. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or a pickpocket is wrong and dangerous. Huh, well, yes, I'd have a point there, I suppose. Let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal sort through and through. Can't deny it. When you say that she'd shown it, she'd had it in her, are you referring to this? Exactly. I'm going to swipe that only a day earlier. Or am I mistaken? Not exactly. Whether I was actually there at the time is hard to refer you to. I've never actually seen the real thing. Can't wait to have a closer look at it. Oh yes, of course. Wait, she needs to do the bloodstain analysis. Yes. Yes. Oh yes, of course. Mr. Sholmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the discs, didn't he? And then ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe. We still don't know what tune it plays, though, do we? But I'd love to see how the original compares to Herbie's album. The Gilded's disc. Could it be a clue somehow? Perhaps we should examine it in more detail. Huh. Yeah, perhaps we should. Let's go do that now, shall we? Oh, Bruno, look! This is blood! Yes, you're right. Just a small smear, but definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before. Haha, then it's my time to shine again! I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, hold still with that disc, Bruno. Can we get this done quickly, Iris? In a flash! What is it? Green! Oh, a lovely bright shade again. Wait, that color. What is it? It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? Yup. Huh. So... yeah. We have wind banks and the pawnbrokers. So, wait, who's the green blood then? I thought it was Sholmes, but it can't be, right? That doesn't make any sense now. Huh. And then this here is blood is stained like we suspected. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. This is the Gilded's, yeah. Yeah. Alright, never mind.
Hold it!
Fuck you. It's the number of bullets that has you convinced. Only 2 bullets were fired. The 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlourmaid asks me how many are invited to dinner, I always tell them to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although, yes, sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. But you guess rather like the fine china. Does your employer dine with thieves? So I suppose. If there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position. A third bullet somewhere on the scene. Could that be possible? Well, it's the picture, right? Wait. Wait. Is this... hang on, hang on. I mean, which bullet is that? Is that the second bullet? Right? No, not yet. It's not yet. Unfortunately, only 2 bullets were discovered by the police during their investigation. Yes, I know. Right. And I don't imagine the good men of Scotland Yard would have looked at anything. I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office well. I should receive a sound scolding, I don't doubt.
And he should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. It sounds like a crime scene to me.
The 3rd bullet. It could really turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it? Do you think you might find one lying around somewhere?
Well, let's see.
Hold it!
So if I've understood correctly, you need 2 pictures. A left eye one and a slightly different right eye one. Exactly. Then you can see the scene in 3 dimensions. Like this. So if we have 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them? And I think you'll find, no matter how much you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here. The only person who could have shot the victim is that girl in the dock. How can you be so sure of that? Think about it. The Skulking brothers shot the great detective, didn't they? Yes, that's been mentioned once or twice. Well then, surely it's coming into focus now, isn't it? This is a waste of time. I'm not going to change this man's mind anytime soon. Huh.
Hold it!
Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it has nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Huh? Oh, he did operate on Jones. I mean, there's no question that this man was shot, but the bullet just simply vanished from his stomach. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on... What was the fellow's name now? Hairlich? No, Hairlock? Lock? No, Hairlock? Hairlock Sholmes, by any chance? Yes, good lord! It was that Hairlock fellow. What? You're the surgeon that operated Mr. Sholmes? That's right. Using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It's a fairly major help, I can tell you. This is crazy. Let me see. The fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. He said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shoot. But the funny thing is, I went down his insides and couldn't find the bullet anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up. I hate to state the obvious, but... Yes? Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting.
The counsel for the defense is correct, as is clearly shown in this photographic print. The bullet that the Skulking brothers fired at Mr. Schultz hit him in the stomach region. Then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door.
I think you'll find it's really quite simple. Just consider the problem 3-dimensional.
What do you think I am, son?
Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do. As soon as I saw the wound in the man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back?
Of course I did.
There wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet had left the body at all. What? That's the point. The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards. Which is exactly why I said about slicing him up. I'm still no wiser, even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can someone please explain how it happened? Can somebody please solve the mystery? Yeah, that is one way of putting it. It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. The mystery of where that bullet ended up is infuriating. It's an expert. What do you need? Wait, we do have an expert. Look. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. You can see I'm in for a busy day ahead.
Hold it!
What do you mean you're in for a busy day? Forgot to say, stop. Do excuse me, stop. I'm a communications officer, stop. A communications officer? Does that have something to do with sending telegrams? Everything, personal messages written by members of the public to the latest news in the capital. I convert all the messages into Morse code, tap it out to the world electronically. To the entire world? Thousands of miles of cable under the sea stop. Worldwide communication network stop. Information transmitted to and from all corners of globe stop. Yes. She was getting equally worked up about radio waves the night before, wasn't she? I specialize in communicating information from government departments, and news and paper offices. I see. I'm sure I shall have to wire the newspaper reports for today's guilty verdict later. So no sleep for me tonight, I imagine. Let's just finish the trial first, shall we? Yeah, this guy.
Hold it!
I thought you were just a tourist. No.
Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Twisting Tower, please.
There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. So you're a ballistics expert? Who knew?
I have much experience with guns.
Ah,
I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme, violent bath of, blood of,
extremely violent bloodbaths, perhaps.
Those extremely violent bloodbaths. English is very difficult.
Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue.
Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. There is nothing I do not know. The mystery I cannot solve.
He's very confident in his knowledge of guns, that's for sure.
But, if possible, please, only in Russian language.
He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though, is he? No, still, we should bear it in mind. He's our man if there's a mystery about guns or bullets. Van Zykes has managed to convince everyone. Yeah, that poor mouse. Yes, his phrase book is incredible. You have eliminated the impossible, he said. But he hasn't. If we're going to fight back, we need more material. And we have to fight back. We have to turn this trial around again. Turnabout! Alright, yeah. I think we're gonna pit juror number 4 and juror number 6 against each other.
Objection!
Yeah. Those two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Oh, a ballistics expert.
Pitting. P-I-T-T.
On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there was no sign of an exit wound in his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6.
Hello, my name is V-Len. Pleased to meet you.
This apparent contradiction in the facts that is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery?
I have seen very similar situation in Motherland. It was night. There was blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold. Golly. The snow was piling high on both sides of road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles, and they were on dog sleds.
Mental note, don't ask too many questions.
I was shot from behind, and I fell down in snow. And the situation was very similar to what I heard today from Doc. They could not find bullet in my body, and no sign of, how do you say, accident. Then where did the bullet go? The bullet never hit me.
If it never hit you, why did you fall down?
Bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side.
What?
One small piece, very sharp, broke away from lump of ice and pierced my body. It made deep wound that looks just like bullet wound.
Good gracious.
Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me. And that is solution to mystery of disappearing bullet.
But that doesn't answer the question at all. shooting happened in a pawnbroker shop. Not some snowy mountain road in another country. Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Or no. Where exactly was Hurley shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around this area, I think. Well, that's precisely where he was always wears a little pouch on his belt. A pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that. Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals that he uses in investigations. What? Really? Doctor, where is the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital, as far as I can remember. If I may, Lord Van Zykes, what I realize, it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination. I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom. Sorry? As I understand it, when the police arrived at the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Thank goodness. I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it has been in my safekeeping, along with all other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well. Extremely unconventional during a summation examination. I must demand the prosecution presents the items in question with all speed. Bring forth Mr. Herlock Sholmes' pouch. I see. This is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, is it? Look at that. One of the files is broken and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded? So that night, a bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. And it was the glass file exploding that caused the fellow's injury. This bullet did not penetrate the victim, but was deflected into a wall of shot. A delightfully complex aroma. Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least. Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of the case remain unaltered. But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. Due to its bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester this scruffy pouch as evidence. Hurley's pouch isn't scruffy. Sholmes' pouch has been entered into the court record. The summation examination. It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinions. Please, my lord, a little more time. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. It could be a valuable clue, and you can't afford to overlook anything here, realistically. There's still a way to turn this around, somehow. I'm sure of it. Well, we have the one lady. Alright, let's look at the pouch first. We'll see, juror number 2. Alright. Whoa! Does that look like a bullet hole to you? Looks like a bullet hole to me. It's really scorched badly just here. Oh, the strap is broken, look! This must be where the bullet hit. Let me see. Oh! What is this? What the? Iris, look! Behind where the broken file was, you see? That's the Skulkin Brothers' bullet. What a stroke of luck that he hit his pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is, there were 3 bullets fired at Windibanks that night. We found exactly what that juror was talking about. A 3rd bullet. It's time to press that juror again, I think. The 3rd bullet. So, how did they miss that? I just kind of want to leave that question hang for a bit. How did they miss that? see. Let's see if we can... We can now prove it. Yep. Allow me to show you the third bullet.
Take that!
Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question in Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes' pouch. What? His pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes' waist before he was taken to hospital. Since then, it has been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night? Yes, as your lordship has surmised, in this pouch. That makes no sense whatsoever. I already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired by Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in this photographic print. Ah! Oh yeah. Yes. This game makes the Brits look arrogant and incompetent. Well, to be fair, the original Phoenix Wright games also make the entire justice system look very incompetent as well. Yeah, no proof. Yeah, the Nipponese. You're gonna hear a lot of that from Mr. Van Zandt. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the record as evidence. Yes, that of Mr. Windibank and the belonging to the Skulkin brothers. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. Ah! But that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Ugh. Yep. Got him now. Order! 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 While this summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which the case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter! What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. Ah. This is going a little differently than the last ones have. Witnesses. Governor, were you listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination? We was, Governor, we was. Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A 3rd bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it, Gov? Well, I don't make nothing of it. I can't help it. Is it one of yours? God, blimey, Gov. God, blimey, not a chance. In that case, did you have an accomplice? What? What? Never. The Skulkin brothers work on that. It's just the 2 of us. That's our trademark. How soon we forget poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? Maybe that's an head scratcher. Counsel for the defense? Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments, the 3rd bullet, and the mysterious missing firearm, from whence it came. Looking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I'm trying to form a picture of what really happened that night. I don't think it's clear what this 3rd bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. They had an accomplice? That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah. On that night at Windibank's pawnbrokery, the brothers must have been working with the 3rd man. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up the existence of this accomplice. But the evidence all points to the fact that there was someone else present, someone carrying a gun.
Objection!
An accomplice, or something. Pig swill. These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time, there has been no murmur of a third man. But there's apparently wraith-like exists. Uh-oh. The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this is fantasy. Crushed. Prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof, evidence, that its accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. Second, the identity of this spurious character. The Skulkins are lying, I know that. But, how can I ascertain the identity of the person they were hiding? Well, counsel? I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity, even. In response to the prosecution's demands, my lord, the defense is... we gotta have something, right? So, what I'm thinking is the blood sample. The blood sample on the disc is the same as the blood sample on the wall. That is the only thing I can... The defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. So, my Nipponese friend, despite assuming it is, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me to make a difference. In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, and the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof have you that there was a third intruder present at the scene? The only thing I can think of is the blood samples.
Take that!
The evidence is right here in this portfolio. By Jove, that portfolio again, is it? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of those blood samples proves the presence of the third intruder. But which one is it? The first one. This one here.
Take that!
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such. There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a bloodstain, my lord. A bloodstain? Green blood. Curious, even for you. Is the court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature? It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Shells. By the great detective! No invention, stop. Not yet appeared in stories, stop. It's this thing, see? It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with different elements in people's blood to change its color. Different elements of people's blood? Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Oh, that brings a whole new extra dimension to looking at blood. Talk of blood in courtroom, stop. Very exciting, stop. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Winterbeck. Ah, a striking blue. Yes, so you see, the green color of this bloodstain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop. Some unhuman creature, says the obvious vampire. Yes. Hold fire there, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it? No, it's not unrelated. The date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Winterbeck was killed. By golly! Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. And whose blood is it? Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of someone else, the third intruder.
Objection!
Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. We can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who Who is this alleged third intruder? It's Egbert Benedict.
Take that!
The man's name is Egbert Benedict.
Egbert Benedict! What on earth are you talking about, Counsel?
He paid a visit to Wendebank's pawnbroker on the afternoon before the incident took place. When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession. That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Egbert Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. That's right, he got a gun out.
Yes, sir?
I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you now.
Yes, sir.
The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once.
Now that's a lie. You tried to pull.
Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. Needless to say. The music box, just stupid. Yep. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. He sure was. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc.
Can you corroborate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Mike for a print show on the fella. Take in from one of his red-handed recorder governors.
Yes, that's him talking to Mr. Winterbank that morning.
Can you claim this man is the brother's accomplice?
Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin?
Never seen the geezer before in my life.
On my life, God, on my life, never seen him.
Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion.
He's at the desk. I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was, you can prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can. Then show us the evidence. I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is. This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. Now, I'm going to drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom. Oh no, Gregson is secretly an orc. Yep.
Ready to present your answer to the court, then, counsel?
Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. The music box disc, right? Yeah. We gotta do blood samples in the portfolio.
Take that!
That proof is right here in this portfolio.
Good gracious, counsel, does that portfolio contain the answers to every question posed?
I see you show my interest in claret-colored liquids. Manippides, perhaps, but... Enough. The court demands to see further evidence. Which blood sample proves the man you identified was the one shot by the third bullet at the scene of the crime? This one here.
Take that!
As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Windebanks.
Which is when the aforementioned Egbert Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no?
That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. But of course, sir, here is the disc for you. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute, that disc is mine.
What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal.
Being a music box, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. These protrusions cause Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed, and the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now.
Goodness, a bloodstain, is it?
My assistant and I have just analyzed the bloodstain here in this very courtroom. Using my trusty fogger gun. Yes. And we added the results to this portfolio.
I say! It's green. It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar.
The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Egbert Benedict, who was in Windibanks earlier in that day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night.
So there was someone else there. How are those two brothers now? They're sweating buckets. What are you talking about? It's boiling in here.
My lord, it is the opinion of the defense. Mr. Egbert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify.
It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now.
This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law.
Sherlock Holmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. Protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A god of detection or some such. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court until land. Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made with this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned the shade of green. I love it. Here, so you're successfully proving that no other blood in the world turn the same color. Well... Oh no! And pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it. We got booted. Is he right? Is Mr. Sholmes' concoction a load of rubbish? I don't know. I mean, he's a great detective. What are you talking about? I can't let him get away with that. I knew we would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. What other choice did I have? Just remember what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it?
Good grief! What did you just say, young girl?
And in a summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Curly's invention. At least, not for now. Yes, she's right.
Lady, you have quite the devious mind.
It really just comes down to one thing. If these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Bruno. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something? Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter.
After that shrewd percease of the situation from an entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination is yet to reach its conclusion. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in this matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. So then, state your final decisions in turn.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Guilty.
Guilty!
Not guilty.
Oh, interesting. We got Garadeb on our side. Split out in ways I wouldn't have expected.
2 called guilty and 4 called not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection!
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision.
On what grounds?
If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. I'm sorry, Lord Van Zykes, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. The trial will continue. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that it will be impossible. What? The name the gentleman gave for himself, Agate Benedict, is quite clearly false. Well, yeah. Yes. Hold him in contempt of court. Yes, please. I don't believe it. Just when I'd managed to prove the man was there that night. Could I say something? Who was that, please? Who spoke? It was me, my lord. Juror number 5? What have you to say, madam? If possible. Inspector? Me, ma'am? I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again, the one in which the gentleman is shown. Right, yes, this one, you mean? Mr. Benedict? Yes, there's no doubt in my mind. Juror number 5, you don't mean to say you know this man? Yes, I know him. What? No! Good gracious! Oh my gosh. Order! 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 Juror number 5, how on earth? I'm a communications officer. Stop. As we can clearly see, the gentleman in the photograph is stop. Also a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop. Oh. A very talented operator, in fact. Stop. He should be in the communication station now. Stop. Tapping away on the telegraph. Stop. This doesn't seem right somehow. Can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. I suppose we all imagine the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out that he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night. Yes, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zykes, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship please. Court will recess for 1 hour. When the new witness arrives, we should reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson. Yes, my lord. I should like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbrokery on the day in question. Go to my chambers during the recess. Yes, my lord. Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m. Woo! Yeah. This guy's gotta be Moriarty, I'm thinking. Alright. Oh, yeah. Already saved. Here we go. 17th of April, 12:41 p.m. The old man made antecedents. Gina, how are you holding up? I'm starting to feel quite warmly towards your frequent cold shoulders now. Ginny, are you alright? Why aren't you saying anything? What's the point, eh? I got all this trouble if I so all for the likes of me. What? Oh, you saw it? That picture? What picture? Ah, you mean this? The photograph taken by Hurley's red-handed reporter. Well, I didn't think it would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure. Ace hopeless. The one who says that's going from God to here, like... I don't pretend it wasn't a bit of a shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court. Surely, you've got to have your doubts about me now. You just can't still think I'm innocent. Of course I can. Jenny, why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night. Hey?
Charles cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still, I'd really like to hear it from you. Alright then. It was after we'd had that dinner together at your place, right, Iris? Then we all had a chat up in your office, didn't we? Yes, I remember. After that, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I slipped out and went down the street to the 2-to-1, Winterbank's place. I had to know if Iris' story was there or not, the island of the Baskervilles. I don't know what it's about or nothing, but if you ask me, there's something in it that Sholmes don't like. Something that you don't want people to read. So that's why I lied to Iris about sticking it in lug with Winterbank for safekeeping. At least that's what I thought at the time. So you broke into Winterbank's? I didn't know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea all that was going to kick off, did I? I struck the lock and stuck inside. It was as dark as you like in there. So I gave the oil lamp on the counter a bit of wick, and that's when... What do you think you're doing? I nearly died, I did. The next thing I knew. I grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving it in the air like, I don't know what. You're the girl who was in here this afternoon? I didn't think pickpockets went in for armed robbery. The mail script, have you got it here? Did Sholmes leave a load of papers with you? A story? I beg your pardon. Something for it's here, I want to say it. I'm so sorry, young lady. I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers. I don't want it. What do I do with it anyway? I just want to see it's there, so... Oh, you want to see it, do you? I want to know if Sholmes really pawned it or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go. Oh, very well then. But for pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, would you? So then the old cove unlocked the storeroom door and we both went inside. And it was there alright, the mental script. Sholmes weren't lying after all. I did all this just to check for me, Jenny. Anyway, then there was a bit of a kick-up out in the main bit of the shop. The Skulkin brothers arriving on the scene, yes. What was that noise? Someone's breaking in. Dear me, is there some burglars convention here tonight that I don't know about? I think I forgot to shut the door behind me. Sorry. I better go and take care of it. Can I possibly have my gun back? I'll come with you. Now don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstances. And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and walked back out into the shop. I hung back to the storeroom like he said, straining my ears to the dark to hear what was going on. It sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap, so I didn't think I should help, so I was just about to go out the storeroom myself when... I had a couple of shots go off too, I think, almost at the same time. And then there was, right at my feet, lying face down on the floor. It was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it quick as you like. Because you thought whoever had shot Mr. Winterbank might come for you. Yeah, so I went to grab the old cove's gun. I figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at it, I knew. Winterbank was a goner. I felt funny in my head all of a sudden, kind of dizzy. And after that, I don't remember nothing. Must be when you passed out, you know. If I hadn't done what I'd done, Cove might still be alive. Still the police everything you just told us. Of course I did. They didn't believe a word of it, did they? All they said was if I kept telling lies, it'd make things even worse for me. It'll be alright, Jenny. Don't worry. Just stay strong a little longer. Reno's about to put the real culprit through the mill. That recall what was there in the afternoon? Agate Benedict? I still remember how he looked at me, like I was nothing. He was there that night. We don't know his real name yet, but I'm convinced that he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty. You what? You can leave it all in Reno's capable hands now, Ginny. Mr. Naruado? Yes? How come you trust me? I don't get it. I mean, have you forgotten what happened the year before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. Me and McGilded. He told you a whole pack of lies. And you got the bug trotted off with him, even though he was a killer. No, I could never forget that. Oh, I did what I thought was best at the time, but the pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget that I also made you a promise. I told you that I'd be on your side to the bitter end, no matter what. But what if I'm lying? I could be working to get another killer off the hook, for all you know. I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in a trial. You were? Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. And strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I was sure that no one would believe it wasn't me who'd done it. Oh, no. But there was one person who stood up for me, who believed in me, and was prepared to defend me. My best friend. Yonosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me, and I'll do the rest. I was so happy I cried, but even then, somewhere inside me I couldn't help thinking, surely he doesn't really believe in me, not completely. I was wrong. As soon as my trial began, it was obvious that he had an absolute, unwavering belief in me. And in turn, I developed an absolute, unwavering belief in him. Since then, I came to realize if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first. What are you saying? I promise you, Gina, no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. So you don't need to worry. I won't let you down. You know I'm a driver, and a no good lawyer. You're not like McGilded. I know that. Hey? That's right. You're our friend, Ginny. Aris? I know you better than you think. We've come to the conclusion you're someone we can trust. Yes, that's really all we need to know. Exactly. Mr. Naruto, Defendant Gina Lestrade and her legal representative. Court proceedings are about to resume. Please head into the courtroom immediately. Yes, of course. Thank you. I've been both a defendant and a defending lawyer in my time, so I knew only too well just how hard it was to put all your faith in another. And I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. This is the last, the final chapter, the final battle. Wish me luck, Susato-san. I hope you're watching over me too, partner. You think anybody actually thinks Susato is like gone? Because I kind of know. All right, back to the Old Bailey. I hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Gina Lestrade.
Van Dykes, who successfully subpoenaed the witness. The subpoena was delivered to the communication station where the man works immediately, my lord. However, the heavy rain has delayed the arrival of his carriage, it would seem. You see, let us turn our attention to Inspector Grex's proceedings in this case, heard by the court this morning. The glaring omission of the third written report is a serious blunder, Inspector. Yes, I can only apologize, my lord. And although the defense's chemical analysis of the blood at the scene makes for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my court. It's a big mistake to cross me and me. A very big mistake. My lord, the subpoenaed witness has just arrived in the building. Thank you, officer. Show me the stand without delay. Mr. Edgar Benedict, I didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon. It's certainly not like this. We got a lot of people in the stand now. Thank you for complying with the court's subpoena at such short notice, sir. But of course, my lord, as an upstanding member of London society, it is my pleasure to oblige. Our kindness that you name an occupation for the record. Ashley Graydon, communications officer. Mr. Graydon and I both work at London Central Communication Station. Ashley Graydon, huh? Now, perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all this is about. You were apprised of the situation with a court officer on your way here, I presume? Yes, I was. Something to do with a murder that took place at Chronicles on Baker Street. And some nonsense about me having been there on the night in question. That is the accusation, indeed. This really is beyond a joke, you know? Very well, without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Graydon. You will respond to the accusation made against you under oath. Gladly, my lord. Gladly. Ashley Graydon. Okay. The accusation. Naturally, I have occasion to make use of pawnbroking services from time to time. But are you seriously suggesting I collude with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder? I have no intention of admitting such an outrageous accusation, even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was on at the scene. Such Scaramouche detectives' home-brewed tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence. So you deny the accusation completely, do you? I must say, I am dismayed. For the highest court in the land to be swayed by this self-professed detective's toy. It was the will of the jury, and our great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld. Then it would seem we have the misfortune of a most inept assembly of jurors today. By golly! How long am I expected to be detained here? If, following the defense's cross-examination, your involvement in this matter has not been established, you'll be free to leave immediately. Good. Then I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation at least. Let us not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary, counsel. Proceed with the cross-examination. So we meet again, Mr. Edgar Benedict. Or is it Mr. Great? My apologies. You are? Ryonosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. We have met. If you say so. Ashley Graydon. Enchanté. So. Ah! I trust we can conclude this quickly. But I'm not holding your flashy hat while we do. This guy's hat, you know? Oh no, his hat's gone. He's hatless. The accusation. Alright.
Hold it!
Yes, we even met in the very pawnbrokery where the crime took place in the afternoon of the day in question. Though, of course, you introduced yourself by a different name at the time. It was Mr. Edgar Benedict, I believe. Tell me, what made you...
Objection!
The witness is here to testify about events that took place that night. He is under no obligation to answer such unrelated questions. You can't be serious. Thank you, because I certainly do not feel inclined to answer such an inappropriate question. So he's going to be evasive, is he? In an effort not to give anything away. This could be tricky.
Hold it!
Have you seen these two men before? This pair? No. I don't associate with criminals. Except by a man who introduced himself as Edgar Benedict. I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. Who made this outlandish accusation against me? The young lawyer there in the black. This is a farce. Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway? Well, needless to say. Well, actually, it was the Chief Justice's. I know. This guy's got style. I have no intention of admitting such an outrageous accusation. Alright.
Hold it!
Where were you at around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir? That is past the hour at which I would normally retire. Certainly. I was not in the company of these rapscallions. Were you able to prove that?
Objection!
Listen carefully, my beloved Nippy's friend. You appear to be under a gross misapprehension on this point. What do you mean? The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime. He has no obligation to prove his absence. If your accusation is that the witness is present at the scene, the obligation lies with you to prove your assertion. You will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness. Oh boy. A silent victory wiggle? Thanks. Oh my gosh. We have another JoJo character, I think. President claimed that my blood was...
Hold it!
Alright. Blood was found at the scene of the crime. There's no question of that. Mr. Sholmes' chemical analysis has positively identified the substance as such. But I am not the only human. I have blood running through my veins, am I? Be sure that the blood is mine. It could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants. Every individual's blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. Mr. Sholmes' chemical is able to differentiate. Spare me the science lesson. Who is this Sholmes character, anyway? Oh, I assumed all Londoners would know the name. He's a great, well, a renowned detective. So even you are unable to bring yourself to say great detective. A great detective, you say? Now we're in the realm of fairy tales, are we? Wait,
Excuse me!
do you have something to say about that, Mr. Skulkin? Beyond the fact that you shot him? What, me? No, the Mr. Skulkin next to you. Right, I've had it up to date with these. How many times am I gonna tell you? Yes, I know, you're not Big Bruv Selkie. Mr. Nash Skulkin. Cold blood me, Governor. You what? Is it not the case that when Mr. Graydon just spoke, a thought went through your mind? Would you care to share that thought with the court? My thoughts? I don't have none of them. It must have been him. You what? Mr. Nash Skulkin, answer the question, please. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke? Nothing, honest God, nothing. I was just thinking, if he waves his arm around, how much more it'll open up the wound again, that's all. What wound? Well, he took the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. I ain't gonna be healed up yet. So I was, well, you know, I was worrying for him, yeah. Oh, hell's bells. Mr. Graydon, did you hear that? What? Your comrade is worried about you, it seems. On account of your injured arm?
my lord. Yes, Mr. Graydon. I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about. Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to their mindless insinuations. You know that someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. And from the height of the bullet in the wall, that person was likely hit in the upper arm or thereabouts. Perhaps you'd allow a court official to examine your arm, sir? The left arm that you're currently clasping with your right hand, as if in pain. No, I refuse. You have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Accordingly, I am not obliged to permit any such invasion of my privacy. Well... Alright, as I've already said, I'm completely uninvolved in this. I have never had anything to do with the pawnbrokery where this fellow was killed whatsoever. I take offense at the insinuation that I was in any way involved. You claim to have had nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Winterbank's pawnbrokery? My lord, the defense would like that last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony. Very well, counsel. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon.
Hold it!
Don't forget, sir, that Mr. Herlock Sholmes is the most famous detective in the world. And the most famous detective in the world tells the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Oh no, I can't think how to answer that. I once saw the world's most famous swindler thrown into jail. He allegedly told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but what turned out to be a pack of lies. Quite. Now, as you are no doubt aware, the Central Communication Station is the heart of this country's information network. My work there is of paramount importance, and you have kept me from it for long enough already.
Hold it!
Ever had anything to do with it? You forget that I was there, Mr. Graydon, on the very afternoon of the incident. Obviously, I am not a complete stranger to the pawnbrokers. I'm currently on the lookout for an armchair to furnish my study.
Objection!
No, you were there to redeem an article. I have no idea what
Is that right?
Yeah, Greg said
Excuse
you would
me.
know this, actually. Do you have something to add, Inspector? Yeah, I'm on this. Hey, come again, sunshine? You were there too, in fact, weren't you, Inspector? That afternoon. Well, yes. You were meeting yourself and the pawnbrokers that afternoon. Your young Japanese assistant, and the accused were all present, as I recall. And at that time, this witness, Mr. Graydon, was trying to acquire a particular article. Well, now, I'm afraid I don't remember too clearly. Oh, Gregson, are you gonna let us down, buddy? What? But you must! I'm gonna lie and pretend I remember something I don't. What's going on here? He showed us a picture before, didn't he? You know, from the cameras that really installed in Winbanks? Yes, of course. Indeed, and the gentleman mentioned there is a striking resemblance to the witness, I must say. Exactly, which proves that Mr. Graydon was at the shop in the afternoon in question. At no point have I denied that fact. I merely entered the shop to peruse the articles on sale and have a word with the broker. Nothing more. Come on, Gregson. This makes no sense. I understand why Mr. Graydon might be trying to cover his tracks. But why would Gregson be trying to avoid giving testimony about what happened? Does that disc... That disc is, related to the the newspaper, isn't it? It's gotta be. It's gotta be. So the only thing we have
That's all he's gonna say on the matter, is it? What do you think, Bruno? I think he has no intention of telling us anything. He's well aware that the less he says, the less chance he has of giving himself away. Complete opposite of Hurley, then. He seems to think that the more he says, the better. Well, at least I managed to prise a little more information from these witnesses' lips. All thanks to the Skelkin brothers. Yes, they were the key to it after all. So he says he had nothing to do with Winterbanks. We know that's not true. Perhaps now would be a good time to have a proper look through the court record. Good idea. You never know what tiny scrap of information could become a valuable weapon. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, hang on. So this... What does this say? From the Gilded. Right? That's the man you defended in court a couple months ago. Okay, so we know that's for McGilded. Hound of the Baskervilles. That's the pawnbroker's ticket. Okay. And that we think is Mason, right? So the only thing we can think of, we have the blood, right? But is he just gonna deny that? We gotta try, I think. We gotta go after it. So here's what I'm thinking. He said he never had anything to do with the establishment. That would present a contradiction. So let's try.
Objection!
Have you ever seen this disc before, Mr. Graydon? I did it. Good. Why, is this supposed to mean something? This disc was, until the day of his murder, at pawn in Mr. Winterbank's shop. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, that afternoon. However, somebody mysteriously appeared to try to take it from her. And that somebody was you, of course. Wasn't it, Mr. Graydon? As I have reiterated numerous times now, you're mistaken. It's not me. I have never seen that disc before in my life. You may have escaped your notice, but there is a small smear of blood on the disc. Ah, yes, resulting from an abrasion of the thumb, perhaps. That's right. The surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor lacerations. So, the disc bears the remnants of that skirmish in the form of this smear of blood. The thumb of the person in question must bear the remnants also in the form of a scratch. Good gracious, indeed it must. Mr. Graydon, you refused to allow a court officer to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt that there is a small scratch consistent with the smear of blood on this disc. Well. It would seem I underestimated you. What is the meaning of this? So you admit it now? You admit you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take the disc from the defendant? Oh. Order! Order! Well, Mr. Grader? It would appear there has been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc as you put it. No, quite the reverse. What are you trying to say? It's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset. Is there some crime taking an item that you own out of pawn? What? It would seem, Mr. Graydon, that in this piece of evidence, my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about this disc. Now. As you wish. Though I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder. The disc. There's a note on the disc saying, "Form a guild." Then it belongs to me. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy gutterling. On the day in question, I proceeded at once to the shop where I could explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night.
Did I hear you correctly, sir? Begilded, you say? The famous London philanthropist? Who perished in this very courtroom 2 months ago after being acquitted of his distinctly messy murder?
Yes, my lord, the one in the sack.
Good lord. Mr. Craven, you've seen that Mr. McGilded and yourself were acquainted.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh. Order! Well, I certainly didn't expect to hear that name uttered here in my courtroom again.
According to what Gina told us, this disc was placed in pawn on that fateful night 2 months ago. McGilded himself gave instructions on depositing the bags. It's funny that Mr. Braden here is claiming the disc belongs to him, then, isn't it? In all likelihood, he's lying. Though he appeared that afternoon, Windibanks in order to get his hands on Mr. McGilded's disc for some reason.
Counsel, you will commence your cross-examination, please.
There's a note in it. Okay.
Hold it!
Figure out that. Would you care to explain how this belongs to you? As you will observe, the communications officer, such as myself, commands a fine salary.
You are certainly exquisitely dressed, sir.
As you see, I don't need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbrokery trade. However, I did once find myself in difficulties having misplaced my purse whilst on an errand, which is why I pawned my fine black overcoat for a question. You claim that was your overcoat? Remember, it was ripped. Obviously. In my haste, I clean forgot. The music disc was in its pocket. And yet, there is no note on it that reads for McGilded. I am a collector of rare and unusual music box music. I first met Mr. McGilded at a gentleman's club in the city. I was interested to discover that he shared my penchant in that area. So the disc in question, it's a pre-production sample. I promise to let Mr. McGilded hear it. But then you forgot that it was in the pocket of the overcoat you were forced to pawn. Yes, exactly. Gina didn't mention any of that in her testimony 2 months ago, did she? No, because McGilded had threatened her to keep her mouth shut. Which means that if we dig too deeply here, it's going to expose Gina's perjury. Oh dear, this is complicated, isn't it? Let's leave it alone for the time being. Yeah, that's rough.
Hold it!
So you're saying that Miss Lestrade lifted the ticket from your pocket or bag? That's right. Despite being mindful of danger when walking in the insalubrious areas, her kind
Objection!
Miss Lestrade did no such thing. Well, of course, if we take that stance, the girl is a regular offender. You came to the pawnbrokery that day prepared with all the information you needed to identify the defendant. You were looking for her. That's what brought you to Windibanks. Get your hands on Mr. McGilded's disc.
Objection!
My learned friend is a veritable font of nonsense. Nonsense?
I concur with the prosecution. Counsel, you will refrain from conjecturing in this way. Is that clear?
Yes, my lord. Then I will continue with my testimony, for what possible use it could be.
Hold it!
Had you ever been to Windibanks before? Only once, for the purposes of pawning something, but like many, I enjoy browsing in such establishments. So when you noticed that the pickpocket had taken your ticket, you chased after her. Is it correct? Yes, that's right. I didn't notice it first, of course. Such is the art of the pickpockets. But when I did, I headed to the pawnbrokery and once. In order to reclaim my coat with the thief coat. I was merely trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place. He can say what he likes because he knows we have no evidence to contradict him on this. In the end, of course. Oh yeah. Just
Hold it!
please. Yes, it was taken by Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it? That's right. That was the very man. Apparently, the police are collecting anything that has a connection to Mr. McGill
Is that right?
as evidence. Oh.
Excuse me!
There's something wrong, Inspector. What do you mean? The last remark Mr. Great made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way. No, it didn't. It's nothing. Leave it alone. Let me ask you this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering Mr. McGilden's possessions? Can't tell you something like that, sunshine. What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets. Yes, exactly. You should know all about that. Magnus McGilded, who died so unexpectedly in his trial 2 months ago. A man renowned for all the capital for his great contributions to public life. Yet, he had a dark side. Huh? Where are you going with this, Van Zarks? I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of his nefarious activities, are they? That's enough! We have duties to carry out that we're not at liberty to talk about. That's all you need to know. Duties confirmed by Lord Strongheart, I presume. The Lord Chief Justice appears to have great faith in you, Inspector. The bottom line is, if you want to get more out of me, you're gonna need Lord Strongheart's paw print first. What's all this about? It's like there's something going on between Gregson and Lord Van Zykes here. Well, it appears that the Inspector has revealed all he is at liberty to review. Mr. Graydon, let us return to your testimony. Gladly, my lord. Very curious, yes. That is odd. In other words, I have no reason to make it.
Hold it!
But perhaps you'd seen something of value among the forfeited items. No, not at all. Oh. A valuable was brought in by the police to assess everything in the shop. With that exception, every article on the shelves was common or garden bric-a-brac. In that case, it's clear that you broke into the shop later that day in order to recover Mr. McGilden's disc. Have you not been listening, man? Even if I wanted to recover the disc, you may recall that it had been seized by the police that afternoon. There was no more in the shop that night than I, as I keep saying, I simply had no reason to break in. So there was nothing in McGilden's left in the shop that night, nothing this man might have been after. I wonder if that's really true. We're going to have some evidence. Let him have it. I'm dying to see that irritatingly assured expression of his crumble. Do we have something like that? McGilden slipped the disc into his coat pocket and had deposited his witness. Then, when he realized he was going to be arrested on suspicion of the omnibus murder, he threatened Gina and forced her to take the redemption ticket. There's no doubt about it. That witness is lying through his pearly white teeth. The police were obviously after anything left behind by McGilden as well. That's why Inspector Gregson ended up taking up the disc into custody that day. But Gregsy's being very strange about all this. There must be a reason for that, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is. For now, I need to focus on exposing the fact that Mr. Graydon is lying in his testimony. Now, let's do it. He had no reason to break it. Wait. Can we see this one again? Mr. Windenegg appears to have used the back of this right out. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. The coat and the box are the same picture, yeah? So he would have been in a rush, right? Yeah.
Objection!
Let's do this. This disc was deposited at Mr. Windibank's on Magnus McGilded's instructions. You knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself.
Objection!
Conjecture again. In any case, the disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. The witness had no reason to visit the pawnbrokery again.
Objection!
Sorry, my learned friend, but that's not true. What? Mr. McGilded had another article in Chronicles makes as this second pawnbroker's ticket proves. Aha! There were two articles belonging to McGilded in the bank's pawnbrokery, and the reason you broke into the shop that night was to recover the second one, together with your two accomplices, the Skulkin brothers. This is the second ticket, is it? What had the men deposited? The article description reads, one small box. Rather vague description, it seems to me. Are you suggesting that I broke into the pawnbrokery with these clowns in order to steal some trading books? I believe there are adequate grounds to suspect that you did. This is absurd. What on earth would I do such a thing? Once the article had been forfeited, I could simply walk into the shop and purchase it. There would be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft. That's a good point. Indeed. The witness makes a solid argument. So that means that for some reason, this Graydon fellow needed the small box that very night.
Objection!
It's time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord. Could you be a little less cryptic, Lord Van Zyx? I do hate to ruin my learned friend's argument, but the truth is quite incontrovertible. On the night in question, no small box was taken from Windibank's pawnbrokery. And rest assured, the prosecution can prove it. What? Good gracious. Inspector, show the photograph prints to the court, please. Yes, sir. What prints? These prints were taken from one of the detective's security cameras. It's ready to recorders again. As previously explained, using this plan of the shop layout. The victim's establishment was furnished with automatic cameras in two locations. One was set to capture the counter, where Mr. Windibank received his customers. And the other was set to capture the shelves in which articles were placed for sale once forfeited. According to the information on this ticket, McGilded's small box had been forfeited already. 2 days before the incident at 9 PM on the 13th of April, to be precise. Which means it would have been on the shelves of forfeited items in the shop front. Now, what I have here is a print taken by one of the cameras about 2 hours before the incident. That's 11 PM on 15th of April. The victim certainly had a very full shop at work here. Is the box the thing in green there? And then here we have another print. This one was taken about 2 hours after the incident. Let's see. So we have two pictures to compare. Alright. I must say that placing them side by side leaves me cold. Dear me, it's starting to make my head ache. Obviously, at Scotland Yard, we consider theft as one of the possible motives in this case. We explored the possibility that someone had been taken in addition to the victim's life. So you've been already compared these two prints thoroughly, Inspector? Yes, sir. We counted every single item in each of these two photographic prints. And the yard's conclusion is that exactly the same number present in both. In other words, nothing was taken from the pawnbrokery on the night in question, and my learned friend's assertion is nothing more than a hopeful fantasy. Oh, that's a big oof. I don't believe it. If I could have just shown that he'd stolen McGilded's pawn box. Oh boy. I might have been able to break him down at last. You know what, Widow? I've been thinking. wonder if these two photographs really are exactly the same. What? Oh, literally exactly the same. Oh. So, counsel, in the light of the evidence put forward by the prosecution, what is your position? It seems that, in fact, on the night in question, nothing was stolen from the victim's establishment. Do you accept the prosecution's assertion? I don't know. Could there be some hidden discrepancy in these two photographic prints somewhere? Let's use the stereoscope. Before I give my answer, my lord, I'd like to try something, if I may. Try something? What do you mean, counsel? I'll need to use a certain piece of evidence from the court record to identify the discrepancy. I'm not entirely sure I follow. Which piece of evidence do you intend to use to help you identify the discrepancy between the two prints? The stereoscope. Oh, there it is.
Take that!
I'd like to use this device, my lord, to view the two prints stereoscopically. Oh! Yes, you've caught the bug at last. Can't resist, can you? You got the cross-eyed convulsion. Juror number 3, what a surprise. Come on, Bruno. Let's put the pictures in place and see what this wonderful contraption shows us. There we go. Look down the eyepiece. Aha! I wasn't sure at first, but there is a clear discrepancy between these two prints. What? You must identify the location in question for the court, counsel. Indicate the precise location of the discrepancy of which you speak. So here, huh?
Take that!
Interesting. Granted, these two prints are almost identical. However, there is one minor discrepancy between them. What? When you view the two pictures stereoscopically... Yep. A single area stands out as being different. Location of this small box. Let me... Wait. Unbelievable. By Jove! You're right. How extraordinary. This tells us very simple. Mr. McGilder's small box was indeed not stolen from Windibanks in the night in question. However, there can be no doubt that somebody picked up this particular box and then returned it to its place on the shelves. Are you suggesting that the small box originally deposited by Mr. McGilder is in fact... Yes, the very same small box I just identified in those photographic photos.
Objection!
Mein Disgustwerk. What if it was? So a box was moved from the shelf. Nothing was stolen. Which means quite simply that nothing has changed. That may be true, but... Alright, McGilder's box wasn't stolen. It doesn't... The fact that it was moved like that change things. It has to change everything. I believe this changes everything about the case. How could that possibly be? The crucial point is the fact that what was moved was a small box. In other words, we have to consider what might have been inside that box. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that we need to examine that box as soon as possible. A vital piece of evidence is sitting on the shelves at Windibanks.
Objection!
That won't be necessary. Some little box belonging to a man who died 2 months ago can't possibly be relevant to this trial. The court does not uphold your objection, Lord Van Zykes. Bailiff, arrange for an officer to go to Baker Street at once. Obtain the small box in question and bring it back here for further examination. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he ain't happy now. Neither are you. But we're getting to the bottom of this. We should have a report within half an hour. I think perhaps we should recess for a short while until the evidence is brought forth. To be hoodwinked by such a farce. Disappointing. I beg your pardon, Lord Van Zykes. This is nothing but a smokescreen. A Nipponese specialty, it would seem.
trying to say? My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning. That this witness's intent was to steal an article belonging to Mr. McGilded from the pawnbrokery. Yet common sense tells us that none of the articles have value enough to be worth stealing in the first place. Exactly. It would be beyond absurd to break into a place for the purpose of stealing such commonplace property. If your lordship recalls, Mr. McGilded perished 2 months ago, immediately after the conclusion of his trial. A trial in which he was found not guilty. A trial in which it was established even the outstanding member of society's reputation implied, in fact. So I propose a toast to my learned friend, his most insightful defense. The articles of outstanding member of society upon were entirely black oak good, which happened to have a music box just coming out of his pockets, and a small box. I assure you, I wouldn't accept even if the man tried to make a gift of such things to me. Huh. It does rather make a lot of sense. It's not as if it was gold and chooses it. Goodness knows, Mr. McGilded was rich enough. But you can't depose the cash at a pawnbrokery. The prosecution's argument is undeniably compelling. It is incumbent on the defense now to bolster its argument. Oh, to explain what possible significance these commonplace articles pawned by this fine citizen could have. Ouch. That's just rough. Using Naruhodo's own regretted defense against him. Well, counsel, is your argument in fact demonstrable? Are you able to show proof that the disc of the box or in any tangible way related to this case? We gotta... Oh, shoot. Are we gonna have to call Gina to the stand? What's the matter, Bruno? We know that they're related, don't we? They're both vital pieces of evidence. Yes, of course. You and I both know that. We know McGilded's true character. We know the disc is significant. We know the lie. But if we explain that to the court at this point, we'll have to acknowledge that Mr. McGilded's acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. The defense's argument was flawed, based on false information. Oh no! And that would mean admitting that Gina committed perjury. Ginny, could it be that Van Zykes knows? Is that why he's doing this now? Because he anticipated everything? Maybe. This could be a great opportunity for us. Sorry? What do you mean, Iris? What is it you always say, Bruno? Sooner or later, the truth comes out. Every time. Alright, the exact significance of the things that McGilded deposited with Mr. Winterbank is something that only Gina can explain to the court. But if I put her on the stand to testify, it could critically damage our chances of winning this case. What's the right thing to do here? Gotta. And my lord, the defense would like to make a proposal. Oh, what proposal, counsel? While the court awaits the arrival of Mr. McGilded's small box, I would like to call the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, to the witness stand. The defendant? What end? It's to do with the various articles deposited in the banks by Mr. McGilded, my lord. Miss Lestrade has information relating to them. I believe it would be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. Prove the significance of the articles in question once and for all. Well, this is becoming interesting. I presume you've considered the implications of the testimony you're proposing. In particular, the impact it will have on the accused's standing, and indeed your own. Oh boy. I have. Lord Van Zykes, would you care to explain that last remark? The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. I'm going to interrupt the cross-examination to listen here from the accused herself. Very well, if you have no objection. So, the court will now hear the testimony of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. The witness is currently in the stand. May I step down until further notice? I shall bid you good day. Wait. You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Miss Lestrade testifies. As you wish. Alright then, Gina. It's time. I know this will be hard, but please, put your faith in me here. Good luck, Bruno. Okay. The articles that Mr. McGilden deposited in Window Thanks Bond Brokery are intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial which was heard in this court 2 months ago. Yes, I remember this young lady being brought before me in that trial. That's right, Lord. Her testimony helped to establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. McGilden. The omnibus case was intriguing, to say the least. And now here we are all again, the same players in that trial facing each other once more. A twist of fate, perhaps. My enemy's friend. Allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. An old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London's winter streets. Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. McGilden. Naturally, he was the prime suspect in the murder. But as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. The murder, in fact, took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Miss Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to light. At the time of the incident, Miss Lestrade was concealed under a seat in the carriage, hoping to pick the pocket of unsuspecting passengers. Then, immediately after the trial, having been acquitted of the murder, Mr. McGilden died in this very courtroom in the most extraordinary of circumstances. A mystery that remains unsolved even now, 2 months long. As indeed does the omnibus murder itself. Be that as it may, recall neither the disuse nor blocks being mentioned in the course of those proceedings. Miss Lestrade, could you tell the court now, please, what really happened in the omnibus 2 months ago? Oh no, she's not. I don't know what she meant. I said all of what on it. What about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell? Please, Miss Lestrade, this is extremely important. But remember, it transpires that you willfully withheld information from the trial 2 months ago. The Home Office will seek to prosecute you for perjury. Naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness. Also, let's face facts. You have little credibility to lose. Ginny, don't listen to him. Please, you have to trust Bruno now. Us? We're on your side. Alright then. We'll talk. It's the right choice, Gina. Well, it would seem that my learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears. So be it. I must confess that I'm struggling to understand what on earth is happening here. However, it would appear that Mr. McGilden's pawned articles in an extraordinary case of the omnibus harbor secrets of which we have been hitherto unaware. So, Miss Lestrade, you will now give your testimony before the court about the events of 2 months ago. You will reveal the truth, commodities sorely lacking in your original statements. This is it then. Everything's going to come out. Like Van Zyke said, this could bring the whole courtroom down about my ears, but as a lawyer, I'm prepared to take that risk. Oh boy. The real truth of the omnibus case. The truth is that Brickmaker Hell was in the cabin of the omnibus the whole time. The Irishman dragged me out from under the seat and I saw that disc on the floor. All of a sudden I heard a scream from over my head and the air on the roof deck went off to call the stops. This when McGilden slipped the driver some tin and didn't want to run to the pawn shop roundabout. He threatened me not to snitch. Same time for me now what I'd seen red. Grief, this is outrageous. What you just told the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago. As you say, my lords, that there's every chance I may have adjudicated an error in the Gilded's trial. Sounds very much to me as if the men deliberately deceived this court, never to cover up the most wicked of schemes. As out that your lordship is correct. Great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago. The actions of the accused and that's right of this witness and of my learned friend are entirely inexcusable. I believe that the whole trial was a farce. It was all lies. The gilded fellow was rotten to the core, just like the pickpocket. Don't forget that lawyer from the east. They were in it together. You're wrong, the lawyer, Mr. Narwater, the lawyer there, he didn't know nothing about it. Humbug. I don't think so. We really expected to believe that. He really stitched everyone up, did he? An operation to get the man off scot-free. Unforgivable. Stop. The lies have to stop. Stop. Yes, the defense made a terrible error of judgment and intended to take full responsibility and suffer whatever consequences are deemed appropriate. However, it's imperative that the court allows the witness to elaborate on their testimony, because the true significance of the Gilded's pawned articles must be brought to light. Very well, my learned student friend. Given the depths of calamity you just plunged yourself into, this may well be worth hearing you. Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord. Blimey, Mr. Naruhodo. Now, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination. Alright.
Hold it!
We just... Oh, and you were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Mrs. Strode? If I remember rightly, the storage compartment underneath one of the seats. Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all. Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain that you claim Mr. McGilded was the sole passenger, did you not? False testimony, my lord. That's what you told me, hard to say. But it's important that you tell us the truth now. When we get to McGilded and the victim acquaintances. I know. But I did hear him talking a lot. What were they talking about? I couldn't hear too well, but if I had to say, I think it was about money or something. They kept talking about buying and not buying. Perhaps business dealings of some kind. Anyway, he got louder and louder, started to sound like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then, hardly dared to breathe, and then, all of a sudden, I heard a noise like someone keeling over on the floor. It was blooming loud, no? I believe you let out an involuntary scream? Yeah, someone gave me away.
Hold it!
Was the disc you saw this disc? Yeah, I reckon it probably was. It was right next to the code line on the floor. This disc belonged to the victim, perhaps. I don't know, but McGill did picked it up pretty smallish. And then sat at the cove with the knife in his belly up on the seat. What did he say to you at that time? He told me not to say a word about what I'd seen out. About the disc, you know. I was dead scared. The way he was looking at me, I thought, if I didn't go along with it, I'd be stuck with that knife too. And he started asking me a load of questions, like what my name was and where I lived and all that. He asked me about being a diver too. But after a while, what happened with the carriage was noticed. Yeah, that's right. First thing, there was a kind of rapid noise.
Hold it!
There were 2 gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck. That's right. They must have looked down through the skylight and noticed the cove with the knife in his guts. And they screamed, the driver pulled up the horses, and the gilder got me out of sight. Out of sight? Where? At least Mr. Fairplay isn't performing on this trial, right? Back under the seat where I set it off. Once the carriage came to an up, the 2 cowards from the roof ran up to fetch the slips. If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear that they were entirely unrelated to the incident. That left McGilded, the driver, and Hughes to the scene. Yeah, only the driver didn't know I was there because I was under the seat. I had the cabin door open and a voice from outside. The driver, yes. He also testified in the trial, I believe. A fellow who went by the name of Beppo, if memory serves. Mr. McGill and the driver say to each other. Want to know why? They do stuff like that, mindly. Okay.
Hold it!
Pawn shop obviously being Winterbanks on Baker Street. Just a moment, counsel. Do you mean to tell me the driver gave false testimony in that trial as well? Perhaps the excursion slipped his mind when he was in the stand. Indeed, Lord Van Zykes. McGilden took off his coat, gave it to the driver. He folded it up all carefully, Lord, before handing it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, the coat and what's in it is what we worth a few bob. Yes, Gina was sure the disc wasn't worth what Mr. McGill suggested, wasn't she? I remember her quibbling with him over the price that afternoon agreed. The driver looked pretty happy when McGill flashed some brass in his face. He went running off at a lick. Then the bug trotter called to me and told me to come out to Greg's cabin. He threatened me not to say nothing to no one about seeing a red.
Hold it!
Let's ask him. Threatened you how exactly? Told me I'd only be able to scarp up, but it's exactly what he said. But you would have given false testimony in court 2 months ago. Yeah, I see. And there was no other. There was one other thing he said. Which was? He told me I'd have to hang on to the ticket from the pawn shop and make sure not to lose it. Ticket? Well, I never. Said that if he didn't show up to get the ticket off me until months passed, I had to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it below, to stop it being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it. But really, why on earth would Mr. McGill have done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat and pawnbroker before the arrival of the police makes no sense at all. There seemed to be only one logical explanation. What McGill had the driver deposit at Winterbanks was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Anyway, after that he let me go, so I legged it when the copper showed up. Well done, Gina. Can't have been easy to tell the truth. Gina's really putting her faith in me, Bruno. Yes, and to thank her, she'll have to face a charge of perjury once this trial's over. So I need to use the time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible. Let's have everybody go for it. Press her on every statement. I suppose I should. Oh, and another thing. What's that? Take a look at those two. Isn't it strange that they've been whispering to each other the entire time? Yes, that is strange. Looks like they're having a secret discussion about something. I'm not sure I'm completely comfortable with that. I wonder if there's anything I can do about it. Huh. Let's see, hang on.
Hold it!
Can we just, like...
Excuse me!
Let's see if we can get them. Is there something you'd like to share with the court, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Braden? Inspector, Mr. Graydon. What? What, man? You trying to give me a heart attack? You have been whispering to each other for quite some time now. Tell us, what is the discussion about? Discussion? With this fella? Or the other one, sunshine? Think I've got anything to talk about with a shady gent like this? And I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective after he deprived me of that disc that was rightfully mine. But they've clearly been talking the entire time I've been cross-examining Gina. It's as if they've been negotiating. Yeah, man, something's weird going on here. Thank you, Mr. Strahd. Thank you, Counsel. I've heard enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired in the omnibus. You heard the piano that night 2 months ago. A negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. A negotiation concerning this disc. However, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, Neilda took what he wanted by force, at the expense of the other man's life. Which
proves my point. The disc is clearly extremely valuable in some way, although I don't understand why as yet. And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, the gilded's coat and its contents were due to be forfeited. I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I mean, the Cove died right after his trial. I knew that. So you decided you would try to claim the articles as your own. Well, why not, eh? They were only going to be forfeited. Why wouldn't I have them? Anyway, you can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime. Mr. Lestrade, it would appear Mr. Big Gilded was prepared to kill in order to take possession of this disc. You know why that would be? Hey, I ain't a clue. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of press. He was probably going to sell it. And you can blame me for thinking that. You can't blame me for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime. Lord. The evidence your lordship requested has been located and is ready for the court inspection, sir. Mysterious little box deposited by Gilman 2 months ago. There's no doubt in my mind that it's a key piece of this find. Okay. I have a feeling this case is going to go on a little bit longer, so now is probably a good end point. So we will jump back into this next Saturday night. We'll see you then.